Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Bondage Season 3, created by Mr. Carlton T. Clay. This is episode 2. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video and also subscribe. You can leave your comments below. Also, in my description, I have links to where you can find this series at and so many others under the Victory Productions Network's umbrella. And movies also. So get into it. So let's get into this actual episode. All right. So we start off with Bond. Bond is having a monologue talking about what's going on in his dreams. And then we see his dreams come into manifestation while he's dreaming. He sees Jackie. And she starts getting into bed with him. He apologizes to her. And then all of a sudden, Jackie says, "Make love to me." Bond says, "I love you." And then Jackie kind of like pulls herself back. And then she says, "I love you. I love you too. And I'll love you even more after you are unalived." Next thing you know, she points this gun at him. Now, I'm going to tell you this much as how real dreams are sometimes. I had a recurring dream of someone chasing me, trying to end my life. So dreams can be quite prophetic and foreshadowing, as also what Bond was saying here, as to what's going on. I never actually had that actually happen. I'm still here, but someone was trying to unalive me also. The closest I've had anything manifest from the dream world to the real world, one time whoever was chasing me did shoot a bullet, and how can I say this? It was shot in my neck. That next day, I was feeling pain in this neck. No lie. No lie. So that's the most that I've ever had happen to me as far as something becoming prophetic in this whole death world. So after the gun is pointed, Bond wakes up. And guess what Bond has to do after dreaming about Jackie? He's got to go take care of himself. He goes into the bathroom, and while he's doing what he needs to do, we see this reel of his relationship with Jackie. Some tender moments and some moments where him and Jackie are having sex. I guess this is his motivation to help him do what he needs to do as far as taking care of himself. After he gets to his climax, all of a sudden he hears a knock at the door. He goes to see who it is, and it's Jamal. That's Lorenzo's brother. He heard that Bond needed a roommate. So after that, Jamal comes in, and he's going to take Ace's old room. And they kind of reminisce on his childhood growing up. You know, it's just remarkable to Bond to see this tall dude who he used to see as this little kid. So Bond just asks, is there a reason why you're wanting to stay with me and not with Ren? And he says, Lorenzo, we're not getting along right now, and he's changed. Basically saying verbatim what Bond was saying. And of course, I know Bond is not really alert as to what's going on. He's just connecting with what I call a soul tie, as in agreement to what he already senses as to what's going on with Lorenzo. So he says, "Look, I'm going to go exercise, do what you need to do." And Jamal ends up calling Lorenzo, and it's a scheme that Todd set up to come to us with the BS. Lorenzo got him on the inside. Now I'm gonna make let's just stick a note right here. Now, why in the world does Bond need all of this extra security around him to make sure that he stays in this prostitution gang? Madam didn't have to do all that. Let's just make that clear. You got somebody watching Jackie for insurance. You have now flipped the script on Roxanne. She doesn't know as of yet, even though I didn't mention this in last week's episode, but now all of a sudden you're annoyed by Roxanne after you've been grooming her for all of this time, acting like you were her lover and her boyfriend. So you got her on lock just in case Bond falls out of line. And now you got another guy on the inside, I guess, to get his inner thoughts as to what's going on. Still, Bond did not agree with whatever Jamal's grievances are with Lorenzo. So it's like, my God, if you don't, obviously you don't have as much influence over him as you do. I mean, you got to blackmail him, but I'm sorry, Madam didn't need all that extra manpower just to keep him in line. That's just what I'm just noticing. Y'all let me know in the comments if I'm like tripping, or does Ren need all of this for whatever reason? I don't know. Let's see. So Lorenzo ends up calling Eric and just saying, hey, you have a special client that wants your type, and going and handle your business. And Eric was like, I'm gonna make it do what it do. I'm paraphrasing. He sees a note at the door saying, come in. He's already at the hotel. Then he gets in, sees another note on the bed, and it says to take off all your clothes. Eric takes off all of his clothes, and it is Detective Allison that has a gun pointed and says, hands up, detective. It's our infamous Felicia Renee, who is still in her detective bag right now. It's good to see her out of the other type of roles that I've seen her in. So the next scene, we got Anita. She's having another dream of being attacked. Obviously, we're getting some flashbacks as to what is going on. She wakes up from it in shock and fear and distress. And I'm trying to figure out, Mr. Carlton, am I supposed to feel sorry for her? After all the hell that she done did? But when she starts crying, she first calls Winston. She only gets Winston's voicemail. So then she hangs up and then she starts crying. He's like, am I supposed to feel sorry for you? Because you've been hell on wheels. I'll even just say from season 1 or season 2. You've been hell on wheels, lady. I felt like you were the desperate housewife type of person that just was neglected by her doctor husband. And you got, I got to say the YouTube friendly word, penitized right away and got obsessed with Bond. So I don't know if I'm supposed to feel sorry for you because I really don't want to. Anyway, Bond, he's exercising on the beach and he's daydreaming about his time being on the beach with Jackie. Next thing you know, he sees Jackie and she's exercising too on the beach. But he's about to go over to her, but then he gets a call or a text from Ren saying, hey, I got a job for you. So then he aborts trying to go talk with Jackie. Eric and Detective Alicia, you know, she just says, where have you been? You've been incognito for weeks. And you still, do you have anything for us? And he says, no. And she's like, and you've been here for weeks, and why have you been contacting us? And you have nothing? You're supposed to be finding out if they are involved with drugs and all that good stuff. And he says he doesn't have anything. We find out his real name is Liam Bishop. And he says, my name's Eric. Yeah, you're deep into this situation. But it looks like Eric / Liam has motivation as to why he's getting lost in this underworld of prostitution, because of how he feels of what the system, the governmental system is. The cops will unalive a black man and black woman with no hesitation, with no real merit. And that's what was going on at the time that this series was being shot, or at least this season was being shot. So I understand that we were in the thick of battle of just losing so many black people. A lot of black men, young men at that point. So he's just like, F it. You know, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So Ren, he has this meeting. I think it's with the cartel. I'll just call them the Latin drug cartel. He's there talking, but the woman there, who I think is the person that he needs to really get approval, I guess possibly his plug or connect. Yes, I do watch Power, so I know a little bit of language concerning the whole drug world and crime world. But she's just speaking in Spanish. And the dude there looks like he speaks English or whatever, but giving him a hard time. He's like, well, you got a Spanish name and you can't speak a lick of Spanish? Lorenzo, of course. Like, I mean, Lorenzo. But then, well, I won't go there. We don't know how he was raised. All we know is that you sent Jamal to boarding school. Possibly Ren didn't really get that type of teaching because possibly the mom made him be a part of the business back in the day. Like, if any of you guys watch Power or Ghost, you see how Mary J. Blige is, what was her name? How did I forget it that quick? It just went off the air. But anyways, Mary J. Blige's character taught her children at a young age the whole drug game, having them package stuff and teaching them how to lie. I was like, that is so crazy. She was a very messed up individual to do that to her children. Ugh. Anyways, Ren isn't getting anywhere with these people, and I think they ended up escorting him out or whatever. All right, so we find out the woman's name that has implicated Bond as the one who unalived her husband. Remember, she was the one at the end of season 2 who was with the detectives and is it stenographer? The one that actually does all the drawings as the one that could be implicated. It could be the one that unalived her husband. We found out her name is Lily, and I call her Lily the husband killer. She's back trying to get Bond again for another session. I said, you gonna come back to the scene of the crime? So basically she says that I unalived my husband so that I could be with you. Bond, what is in your bond? Because these folks is going crazy for you. You don't have levels to what you can do for these women because they become obsessed. And now she's saying that she unalived her husband for you. You crazy. That's crazy. Because then we get the flashback of, now we know that she was the one that did it. Even though she's trying to pin the unaliving on Bond. It's just the detectives don't know whom they are looking for despite what the drawing is. I'm sure that's going to heat up in the next episode or two. So, back at Bond and Jamal's home now. He's snooping around and he pulls out this photo of a man. Obviously, this is going to be significant. I don't know if this is Bond's father or what. Or at least I thought it was out of Bond's dressing area. Maybe that was Jamal. And I just thought it was like Bond's father, but maybe it's Jamal's father. Who knows? And Ren's father. Ren calls and says that he's got a job for Jamal. And he says he's not taking no for an answer. Anita, she's about to leave the house. As she steps out and is locking the door, this man comes up and randomly comes up and says, Anita? And she says, Paul? And he was like, it's been a long time. All of a sudden, Anita rushes back into the house. I don't know what that is, but obviously it's got to be connected to something with these bad dreams that she's having. All right, so Bond and Jamal, they're at the prostitution hotel. I could say another word, but I'm trying to be YouTube friendly up in here. Bond was like, what are you doing here? Then all of a sudden, a client comes out of the room or opens the door. She recognizes Bond because they had a session the night before. And she just says hi to both gentlemen. And then she looks at Jamal and says, let's see if you are better than him. So then Jamal goes inside and they don't talk. Bond doesn't have any, Bond didn't get any answers from Jamal at this point. But Bond has his own person that he's got to meet up with, I think. All right, so Alicia and Liam are outside of the hotel room. And she gives him another burner and says, you better come up with something very fast, detective. Because here's another phone for you, blah, 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 blah. But Ramon, remember Ramon from the last episode? He's the one that's spying on Jackie. I think he's going to try to get with Jackie. I haven't seen season 3 in a long time, so I can't remember all the details of what happened. So I'm kind of in anticipation as I'm reviewing this season again. He sees the interaction. I don't know if he heard them, but anyways, he recognizes Alicia is somebody that arrested him back in the day. So from there, Ramon texts Ren and says that he thinks that there is a problem with Eric. And we see Ren, he's at the office, he's back to chewing his Flintstone Kid vitamins, or them hard pills, so he didn't really get rid of his addiction. So I was wondering about that. So if drugs are coming your way, I have a feeling that you are about to get deep into your own product, especially if you're addicted to pills like you are. Let's see. So the woman, Spanish or Latin lady, comes into the office unexpectedly, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" She's still trying to speak in Spanish, and he's like, "Look, you can lay off all that Spanish because I don't know a lick of it." And then she finally lets him know that she's able to speak Spanish, or she's able to speak English. So then she tries to seduce him and saying, "Well, maybe I should give you a second try since things didn't work out the first time." They end up smashing in the office room. I said, "Okay, well, Roxanne, you've been replaced." Even though I don't think you ever been his. Well, you are his. You belong to him. You are his material. His possession, I mean. So after they get done smashing, Ren says, "Did I pass?" And then as she's walking out of the room, she says, "We'll be in touch." Then all of a sudden, Ren could speak a Spanish word. I don't know what it was. All right, so Jamal is enjoying his session with this woman. I think right when he's about done, all of a sudden he gets a call from Ren. I thought that was kind of interesting that Ren called right then and there. But anyways, he says, "Are we good?" I guess he didn't know if Jamal was going to follow up and do what he asked him to do. And it sounded like, well, Jamal did reassure him, said, "Yeah, we good, blah, 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 blah." So next, Bond is kind of walking around the neighborhood. I don't want to say out of it, but he's just he tells the person that he meets up with that he's gathering his thoughts. As he's walking, he walks up and sees that it's Jackie. Jackie has moved. And she moved because she said that there were too many bad memories. Really? I mean, how much time did Bond spend at your place? And hopefully you didn't move because of the ex-boyfriend. I mean, it looks like he just came and he hit it and quit it again. Hopefully it wasn't that. But anyways, she done got a new place. Bond was about to tell Jackie that I think he loved her. But then Jackie went on into the house. So it was a missed opportunity for him to profess his love and possibly to get back into her good graces or whatever. But that was the end of this episode. It's a setup for a lot that's going on. I may have gotten the scene wrong with Jamal. I think Jamal was looking at a picture that he recognized as he was unpacking, I think. I thought he was snooping, but whatever. This season's kind of heating up. It's kind of a slow burn right now. But we're getting to know a little bit more about Anita. I still don't care at this moment about her. I don't think Ren's going to be able to hold up his status as the pimp of this organization, but we shall see. And Jamal is quite an interesting person, and I got to see what he's really up to. Anyways, that's all I do have. Give me your thoughts on what you think of the season thus far, this episode. Again, support Mr. Carlton T. Clay, Victory Production Network, and everything that they have going on. This is the holiday season, and he's got 3 holiday movies out? 2 or 3 or 4 maybe. I think a couple of Christmas, a Hanukkah one, a New Year's one. But you can find it on Peacock, Tubi, Amazon, Roku, all that good stuff. So you are not without any type of holiday material. So you can switch over from Hallmark and deal with Victory Production Network. But that's all I do have. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone that does observe it. Or if you just want some food, go on and do that. But happy holidays to you all. And until the next one, peace.